Why is discipline an act of love? This is a question that makes the modern mind a bit uncomfortable, which often connects love with total acceptance and no difficulties at all. We naturally shy away from the idea that a loving God would intentionally bring tough times into his people's lives. Yet, the Bible consistently shows discipline not as something that goes against God's love, but as one of its deepest and most important ways of showing itself. This is a topic that challenges our simple ideas of affection and makes us think about a love that cares more about us becoming truly holy than about our immediate happiness. This kind of love isn't fluffy. It's strong, determined, and deeply committed to changing us for the better. To understand this, we need to look at verses that speak with a clear, sometimes unsettling truth. Like Deuteronomy 32. This part of Moses' song isn't an easy read. It spells out a series of harsh judgments that God will bring upon his covenant people for their ongoing unfaithfulness. The language is tough, and the results are terrible. At first glance, it seems like a record of pure anger. However, when we read it within the bigger picture of God's plan to save us, we start to see that these harsh actions aren't just an angry God lashing out, but the tough love of a caring father who is determined not to lose his children to their own harmful choices. The text is a strong reminder that our simple view of God's relationship with humans is wrong. It reminds us that sin isn't a small thing. It's a deep betrayal that leads to falling apart and ruin. So God's response has to be just as serious. He takes our rebellion seriously because he takes us seriously. The first and most basic way to understand discipline as an act of love is to see it as a form of protection. When a young child runs toward a busy street, the parent doesn't just suggest a safer action. They shout, they grab, they physically hold the child back. That sharp shout or firm grab might scare the child for a moment, but it's an act of pure, desperate love meant to prevent a much greater harm. The Bible makes this connection explicitly. Whoever spares the rod hates their children, but the one who loves their children is careful to discipline them. This isn't a command for harshness, but a statement about the motivation behind correction. In Deuteronomy 32, God sees his people running toward the spiritual equivalent of a busy street. Think of a shepherd guiding his flock on a dangerous mountain path. He knows where the cliffs are, where predators lurk. The shepherd will use his staff and bring it safely back to the path. God's discipline is the action of the good shepherd who sees dangers we can't see. God protects his own name and also protects the ultimate hope of his people. His discipline serves a double protective purpose, saving the people from their self-destructive path and preserving the integrity of the covenant relationship. Beyond just protection, discipline is a powerful form of instruction. It's a teacher, even if a tough one. Correction without explanation or learning is just punishment, but discipline aims for growth. It shows us the foolishness of our choices and lights up the wisdom of a better path. A child allowed to eat only candy won't learn the value of healthy food until their body starts to fail them. Weakness and sickness become a powerful lesson. The judgments in Deuteronomy work like this instruction. Tricked by the clear appeal of pagan rituals, God teaches them through the results. For rain, for harvest, for victory. Let's see if they can help you now. Where are their gods? Let them rise up and help you. The idol's inability to act in a crisis is the ultimate lesson. The Lord corrects those he loves for our good so that we may share in his holiness. Later, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace. Discipline is a training plan for the soul, teaching us to tell the difference. A teacher's corrections show their care. In the same way, God's discipline, our holiness. The most hopeful part of this isn't about breaking things, but about healing. It's basically about fixing things. Even though it means tearing down wrong foundations, that's only so a new, better foundation can be built. A doctor might have to re-break a bone that healed wrong to make the arm or leg work perfectly again. After bringing his people to the end of their own strength, God says, "See now that I am he. There is no other God besides me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. And no one can deliver from my hand." Discipline and rescue come from the same hand. The hurt was never the final goal. Healing was. This is the core of the gospel. The ultimate act of God's discipline wasn't poured out on us, but on Jesus on the cross, wounded for our wrongdoings. By his wounds, we are healed. For those who are in Christ, the discipline we experience is never about punishment. It's always like a father's love, correcting us and aiming for our healing, towards our final healing and restoration. Since discipline is a tough but loving act from God, how we respond becomes super important. The way we take correction decides if we get a harvest of good things or just bitterness. It's understandable, but it doesn't help us. The first step is to learn to be humble. Lord, what are you trying to teach me? What bad habit do you want to show me? The second step, learn to give in. Actively trust in God's great kindness. Believe that He is the smart doctor, even when His hand holds the cutting tool. Jesus said, "Not my way, but your way." Our giving in is just a small echo of His. Finally, our response means saying sorry and changing. If discipline shows we rely too much on money, respond by being generous and trusting. If it shows we're too proud, find ways to help others. This active response works with what God is doing to make us more like Jesus. In the end, the Christian idea of discipline is full of hope. It tells us that God hasn't given up on us. God treats you like His children. What child is there whose father doesn't discipline him? This correction, strangely enough, proves that we are truly His children. It doesn't take away the pain, but it gives it meaning and purpose. It's a sign that He is working, smoothing out our rough edges, making our reasons purer, shaping us to be more like His Son. Our struggles are part of a big plan to make us whole again. We can go through the fire because it's meant to make us pure. The song in Deuteronomy ends with a call to be joyful. Rejoice, O nations, with His people. The last word isn't judgment, but forgiveness. Discipline leads to being made clean. The path through the valley leads to the high points of being close to God again. It's not a love that spoils us, but a love that saves us, strong enough to hurt us to heal us. And that's the greatest love of all. Title: Why is discipline an act of love? Deuteronomy 32:23-44.